There are a few things in your life that can really level up your career, and for content creators and budget filmmakers, a powerful 200 watt light can be one of them. But not all lights are created equal. I've got here the Molus B200 from ZHIYUN for review. And to test how really good it is, I think we're going to have to compare it to an alternative. We're going to compare it to the COB LED 220 from Pixel. Which one is the best 200 watt light? Let's find out. So full disclosure and a quick heads up before we dive in, I got both of these lights for free, which means I didn't pay for them. But I'm not paid to do this review. The only way I earn anything is if you like the lights and decide to buy them through the affiliate links below. I get a small commission with no cost to you. If you do, thank you so much. And if you don't, no worries. Thank you for subscribing though, it's free and you can hang out with me. So for this review, we're going to compare the similarities between these two lights. And in this review, I'm gonna highlight one of the big advantages I discovered that one of them has over the other. Plus, we'll look into the differences between the Molus from ZHIYUN and the COB LED, what I'll just call Pixel, because let's be real, I have a new kid and my brain is really tired. Both of these lights are 200 watts-ish COB lights, but you might be wondering, what is COB? Well, COB, it stands for chip on board. And chip on board brings a lot of perks compared to traditional LEDs. COB lights are more powerful because the LED chips are packed closer together. They also offer better color rendering, a more uniform light, and also it handles heat way more efficiently. While both the Molus and the Pixel use COB technology, there are differences in how they actually perform. When we measure power output using a Seaconic light meter, keeping in mind that the Pixel is actually 220 watts, 20 watts more than the Molus, does that extra power actually translate to anything or from one light to another, especially for the Pixel? Without any modifiers and only including the reflectors, I measured these measurements for the ZHIYUN compared to the Pixel. So if power alone is the only metric, then it's a point for the obvious choice. Of course, all that power also means more heat. How do both of these lights manage heat and noise to make sure that it doesn't overheat? Although LED isn't the hottest source of light, to manage the heat, the Pixel 220 light comes with a heat sink in a 9cm fan located at the bottom of the unit. Actually, putting the fan there is pretty clever. It uses the body of the light to dampen the noise. And when the fan's on, it actually measures at the number on screen. On the other hand, the ZHIYUN Molus has a system called Dynavort, which also includes a heatsink, but it steps things up with 3 fans that are pressure controlled for an ultra quiet operation. The light coming from both of these units come with a specific color range. The Molus gives you a range from 2700 Kelvin to 6500 Kelvin, while the Pixel is limited to daylight 5600 Kelvin. Now, it's a preference, but also I'm not usually obsessed with CRI since it's not a really true great measurement, but the Pixel scores higher at 97, likely because it doesn't offer a wide range of different color temperature versus the Molus. That said, the Molus still holds its own with a CRI of 95, which is really solid for a light that covers such a wide range of lighting colors. So now it's a personal choice, whomever you want to give the point to, but I think the Molus offers definitely a win in flexibility with its color range and its pretty high CRI compared to the Pixel. But what about controlling that power? As we all know, not every light is going to be easily accessible when you're on set, so how do we manage that? So first, the Pixel doesn't have an official app associated with their lights, meaning that you'll have to rely either on the remote control, that I don't know if it exists, or control the power output remotely. So pray to God that if you ever have this remote control, you don't lose it, or you have a really good assistant. Of course, both lights can be controlled by the back, which is a pretty standard operation, as you can see on screen. On the other hand, to control the Molus B200, there's an app that controls the entire suite of light coming from ZHIYUN. While I'm not a huge fan of apps, I have way too many on my phone, losing a remote control or having to play with the dial in the back is quite annoying and it's expensive in time and effort. And to be honest, it's very less likely that I'm going to lose my phone versus a remote or actually having to be bothered to play and then hopefully something doesn't crash. The ZHIYUN app uses Bluetooth, it's responsive and it's easy to set up, and it's also for all the lights coming from ZHIYUN. But to set up your lights, what does it come with? So good news, both lights are pretty equal in that range, meaning that both lights come with a balanced mount, which is probably the industry standard if you like to mount a softbox, a reflector, or pretty much any modifier you might have. The Molus design is notably different since it has a kind of a funky minimalist mount. It's hard to explain, but look at it on screen and you can see. If I have to guess why they did that, it's probably to save a bit of weight. The Pixel light does come with a neat little bag that you can store all the items and also a reflector. It's an easy to carry soft case with a padding. Both lights come with a silver reflector, but the Molus comes with no bag or no case, just this recycled box. I really like the convenience of a bag, so definite point for Pixel for including that bag. If we talk weight, this is where the difference becomes very glaring. When you just pick up the light, the first thing that you notice is the compact size of the Molus B200. The entire body is quite small, and it's surprising that it generates actually 200 watts of power, especially when compared to like an older LED like I used to have, like the SL60 from Godox. When you compare it to the Pixel C220, the Pixel comes in at a weight of 1.8 kilograms, so almost 4 pounds, and that's just the head. When you add the power adapter, it actually adds more weight to the light, so that makes it very heavy for what it is. And it's entirely different for the Molus that offers a head but weighs 1.4 kilograms but has no power adapter. So basically you just have a plug and it's a much smaller body. And that's huge for those amongst us who have to carry either a lot of stuff. 0.4 kilograms might not seem like much to you, but when you have to carry stuff back and forth, or you have to boom a light, or you have to tuck it in somewhere outside, it adds really quickly. In my opinion, it's a huge point for Molus, but it doesn't end here. So what's the big bonus? It really comes down to future-proofing, in my opinion, innovation, and pairing your new B200 if you decide to buy it. The ZHIYUN line of lights is growing fast, really fast, while the Pixel seems to have stalled for a bit. So I got the Pixel light about 2.5 years ago, and not much has changed since. It's not a great sign for Pixel, if you ask my opinion. But ZHIYUN have been rolling out new lights left and right, from the smaller M series to the bigger B series. You have a lot of things going on. Since, for example, the B series has anything from 100 to 500 watts, which is a lot. And that's a great sign for us creators. I mean, if we have to vote, I would go for ZHIYUN, because if ever you want to grow in that line and have just one standard light of line, ZHIYUN can offer you a full range of lights that you can go from main light to small accent lights to go everywhere. Most importantly, something we haven't spoken about is price. The Pixel 220 goes for about 400 Canadian or 297 USD on the website. Meanwhile, the Molus is priced at 489 Canadian or 360 US. So for just $60 more, you're getting more color range, you're getting a better compact design, and a better overall quality. I did have the Pixel unit die on me during the testing, and I had to get a replacement to finish my review. So that's something to consider when it comes to you choosing a light, and I'm pretty sure the warranty from ZHIYUN is actually pretty solid, although I haven't tried it, I haven't tested it. So if you had to pick up one of these lights, which one would you go with? Don't forget that all the links to both of these lights are available in the links below, if they're still available. Let me know in the comments what your opinion is, and I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers!